Right, welcome to Al's Garden Bar, where I try and make drinks that you enjoy and possibly a little bit of food. Right, today we are going to make the king, the queen, the jack of all drinks, the marvellous Margarita. It's liquid crack itself. Everybody loves them. I love them. But on this occasion, I'm also going to try and make you a little snack that I think goes really well with them, which is going to be spicy and cheesy and deep fried. What could be better? And actually, this came about because yesterday I had an argument with my wife that can only have come from being locked up for 3 weeks together and then watching the news and being told that it's going to be for another 3 weeks. You know, that kind of argument that escalates over huge topics like tomatoes. And that is what happened. I came into my kitchen. I think you're going to understand what's going on here. I walked into my kitchen to see my wife with 4 plump red tomatoes about to put them in the bin. I was like, stop! What do you think you're doing? Those are my tomatoes. She said, no, they're mouldy. I said, they're not mouldy. They might have some mould on them, but they're not mouldy. No, they are mouldy, she said. I said, they are not mouldy. She said, no, the spores go all the way through and they're ruined. And I was like, stop. Give me those tomatoes. Those are my tomatoes. I will eat these tomatoes. And she said to me, of course you would, because you're posh and posh people eat mouldy food. So, I am here. I don't really know what to do with that, whether I've made it or my street cred is completely obliterated. So, what I'm going to do is make some food with mouldy food. Mouldy cheese that I found at the back of the fridge. So, take said mouldy cheese, a nice strong blue cheese, cut the rind off, which is what I'm doing now, and cut it into small little bits. Now this is going to be essentially a cheese and blue cheese jalapeno dough ball, or a beignet if you like, but to us, dough balls. Right, so I cut this up into tiny little bits as much as possible. Probably should have prepped this a little bit earlier. It's really simple to make, and as long as you've then got yourself a load of oil ready to fry them in, it takes minutes. So, first thing is first. Crumbled up, chopped up, blue mouldy cheese, has to be mouldy in this instance, but a Gruyere, cheddar, anything like that would work really well. And then what you need is some milk. I'm actually going to warm the milk through ever so slightly. That is 70 grams weight of milk, which is a slightly weird way of measuring milk, but there you go. So I'm going to mix that in, and then I've got 30 grams of unsalted butter. I'm going to put that in with the milk so it just mixes together. And then I've got 60 grams of just plain white flour, which I'm also going to put straight in there on top of it after that's melted together. After that has melted down nicely like that, I am going to mix in to the dough 2 fresh eggs, like that, beautiful laid eggs today. I don't know if they were laid today. And I'm going to mash that all together. I'm going to put the jalapenos, which I've chopped up there, all these nice little jalapenos. Came out of this jar, they're quite spicy. Found that at the back of the cupboard. And make a little dough, add the cheese, add the salt and the thyme, and then put aside somewhere nice and, there we go, put that away somewhere nice and cold. And then when it's time to fry, it is time to fry. Just waiting for this butter to melt nicely. Hello B, how are you? Oh, watch out. What are you doing? Okay, sorry, better with the... So then I'm just take the flour, it just goes straight in, and I'm just going to stir it around, just going to make it into, over the heat so we lose some of the flour taste. In this, what I've created is the tiniest space to make a batter. Basically, the beignet is normally a sweet thing that came it's French choux pastry, lots of sugar, deep fried, beautiful thing in the morning with a coffee after the night before, made famous by New Orleans and, you know, Bourbon Street and all of that in the French Quarter. Are you seeing my eyes? So, there you go. Now I'm going to pop that into there, so it's a nice little, whoop, there you go, in the garden, I can do that. Yes, you've got my eyes. I'm making that. So we're just making that into a nice dough, still a bit warm. If you had equipment, I'm sure you could put this in a bread maker or something like that. Are you taking all my ice? No, not all of it. Okay. So crack a whole egg into there, one at a time, and mix them. Okay. I'm wishing I had a bigger bowl now, but I'll get there. Keep mixing, keep mixing. I think...
We can do that, it's the garden.
Do what I say, not what I do. No, okay.
Daddy.
Then another whole egg.
Dada.
Yeah,
Why do you have this?
I don't know. Looks good. Okay. Watch out. Don't let everyone see you. All right. So,
That means
this gets mixed into a complete dough in there. You have to keep on mixing it. I am running out of time, so I would then pour all of my cheese, all of my jalapenos into there, mix them. I'm going to tell you now, you need a bigger bowl than the bowl I'm using. And when you've mixed them all in, chuck in your salt and your thyme, just gives it a nice little bit of flavour, bit of saltiness, and combine it all, make it into a really nice, slightly sloppy dough.
Daddy.
Then another whole egg.
Dada.
Yeah,
Why do you have this?
I don't know. Looks good. Okay. Watch out. Don't let everyone see you. All right. So,
That means
this gets mixed into a complete dough in there. You have to keep on mixing it. I am running out of time, so I would then pour all of my cheese, all of my jalapenos into there, mix them. I'm going to tell you now, you need a bigger bowl than the bowl I'm using. And when you've mixed them all in, chuck in your salt and your thyme, just gives it a nice little bit of flavour, bit of saltiness, and combine it all, make it into a really nice, slightly sloppy dough, and put it to the side in a fridge, cool, few hours, overnight, doesn't matter, and you should end up with that. Okay, which doesn't look that inspiring. What we're going to do with that is I've got my wok here.
Oh.
I'm going to put it on there and it's going to heat through. The oil doesn't have to be like lightning hot. You don't want to burn them. But what we do want is to make these lovely beignets. And when they're ready, they're going to be the cracking accompaniment to a margarita. So I think we should get on with the margarita. The reason we're here, so very simple margarita. It's 35 ml reposado tequila. 20 ml triple sec or Cointreau would be great. I've got triple sec. And then 35 ml of fresh lime juice. Shaken hard, poured into a nice glass, and that is that. Now, here is my twist on the margarita. So, first things first, it's Al's Garden Bar. So, cut a small lime wedge, pop it into the top of your open beer, and take a really nice long swig. Which actually would have been bitter. Okay, there's some construction going on in the front, which is great. That's still going. Now, this is what you would do. Well, you take your glass first.
Nice.
Nice, good position.
No.
Here to bartend. That's starting to get really hot, so that's great. Now, run a lime around the lip of the drink. So, and what you would normally do is then do a lovely salt rim. In my opinion, you should do something else. My rim is going to be made out of Monster Munch. Pickled onion Monster Munch. Let's be honest, it's the greatest crisp ever invented. I will shoot anybody who denies it. You're wrong. Skips are no good. Chipsticks are no good. It is this. Maybe pickled onion, Space Invaders had their moment, but let's be honest. Now crush it up in the bag. Pour it out onto here, just let's get the finer bits. Crush them up a bit more, why not? Again, take that off. Take the old martini glass and roll it in your crushed up Monster Munch. And that creates the best rim in cocktails, in my opinion. Okay, now move that away. I'm sure you'll eat that. Well done. So we've got really nice hot oil now at this stage. And all I'm going to do is take my beignet batter and give it a little bit of shaping. Not much, because they're just little balls of salty, cheesy, gooey goodness. I'll drop that in there. That's one.
Daddy,
Yes.
can I be the judge?
You can always be the judge.
What the things he does me, he does me this.
What do you think of the Monster Munch? Very important.
It's like salt and celery and
Okay, so they've all gone in there. A little bit of concentration due to the very hot oil. And now my son's head. So
and
now I'm actually going to give those a little bit of a turn because you do want them
did
to
you
go all the
did
way.
you put oh, it's not fair.
Okay, and they are burning away really nicely.
Excuse me.
And I'm just going to take this.
Did you put salt in this?
I didn't put that in there. A very clever man at Walker's did, creating one of the... so these beignets, basically, they fluff up into these just little, wonderful, juicy balls of goodness, which I'm about to show you. There we go. You can come over here and see that? Ooh, done there, but I think I've just caught them. Jalapenos, cheese, and we're going to just eat those. Don't touch these, B, they're very hot. Okay, I'm going to turn that off so I don't get burnt, and we'll move on to the main event. So, margarita, some big ice. Bang it in, get as much ice as you can there. 35 ml, as I said, of reposado, full reposado tequila. 2, 3, and that's about 35. Bang that in. Take over. Take your triple sec. You do 20 ml. That's a 25 ml side. Okay, that was a little bit of it going in there. 20 ml of that in there, and then 35 ml of lime juice, which I've already squeezed because I thought I was going to be. No, watch out for your hand. We're running out of time. So there we go. Put that down there. Take over. Actually, take that one because it's cleaner. Bang that in, and then we're just going to shake. Okay, take your strainer, pop that across, Monster Munch rim. Double strain this, so put it over in so you don't get any little ice bits. You just want all the punchy flavour, all that lime. Reposado tequila.
Oh.
It's a perfect little colour. Pop that over there. Pop that over there. Take a little bit of the lime wedge. Cut there, so you can give yourself a nice little flourish at the end.
Daddy.
We've got the Monster Munch pickled onion rim margarita at Al's Bar and beignets, the cheese chili dough balls of delight. Oh, they're so good. Thank you for throwing the lavender over. And now for the margarita. I could drink a dozen, get naked, give you all a big kiss. Bye-bye for now. See you later.